Alright guys, what's going on? I have my doctor's appointment today. Apparently it's, what's she called again? Impetigo? Impetigo. Impetigo. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to take antibiotics for that, which I'm not thrilled about because the whole gut bacteria thing. But if it's gotta be done, I guess it's gotta be done. Hopefully that'll help things. So this is an idea that is just, I don't know, it's so cool for me to think about. I just talk about stuff that's cool for me to think about. But the idea of just like that everything is connected and that everything is a part of something bigger, and every single part is made up of all these little parts that are part of something bigger. Like we live like in a universe of like all these things going around, and like that's its own system, and then you've got like our galaxy, which is its own, that's its own little system of things like spinning around each other. And then zoomed into that, I mean, we've got our planet, which is this insanely complex system of just life, and you've got cultures of people, and those are all systems of people, working and just like doing their own things. And then like inside each person there's this system of like organs that are all like doing these different things, and inside the organs you have cells that are complex systems in and of themselves, and then inside the cells you have all these other little machines and organelles that are all just like doing this insane work, like this insane just stuff that we can't even comprehend, and it's just like happening all over our bodies. And then inside those, I mean, those are all made out of molecules and chemicals, just like doing chemical reactions. And like those chemicals are made out of atoms, which are these systems in themselves with like a nucleus and stuff spinning around them. And then like you can even go deeper into that, people are finding. And so to me it's cool how complex the world is, and nothing is isolated. Everything is connected to other things in some way. Like even if you tried to quote unquote isolate yourself, you go to, I mean, where do you go? To the forest where there's trees and all these things that have affected to humans for years, and that humans have affected for years. The cool thing about that idea is it makes everything so much more important. Because one way you could look at the world is, or like one way you could look at yourself is like you're one speck of dust, just floating around in the universe with no purpose. But that's not really the case, because whether you want to be or not, you're a part of an entire network, and then you're made up of an entire network. And so the actions that you make kind of like send like waves along the entire web. And with the internet, like, we're even more connected. By web, I didn't mean the internet necessarily. I just meant like the web of connections. But yes, there's also the web of the internet, which is another insanely cool way that we're connected. That's something I already talked about in one of my other videos. So the thing about systems to me, though, the thing that seems important to me is like this kind of sovereignty of each part of the system. The cool thing about, like, when you go from atoms all the way down to all the way up to the universe, like looking at those small particles, they're just like they're doing what they do. It's like they're not being like forced in any way. I don't know. Maybe there is some degree to which like conditions change a little bit, and then different systems have to kind of adapt. But it seems to me like, I don't know, it's so cool how all these things are just like doing what they do. I wanna say like they're acting in their own self-interest, but you can't. I don't know how much that's quite a bit of a what do they call that? Like anthropomorphism, anthro something. Comparing it to humans too much, because science teacher will always argue, well, molecules don't want anything. I don't know if that's true though, because like molecules have an affinity for certain other molecules, and then certain chemical reactions happen and they take place, and then like all these things in our body occur, and it's so cool because it's not like anything's really telling them what to do. And I think this is the important takeaway from systems. I don't think the trick in any system is to try to force it into something. I think maybe you can change the conditions in such a way that... So, the other cool thing about systems... Sorry, I'm getting off. I'm going to try to describe what I'm saying. Not only are they working for themselves, each part of the system, but they're also working in a way that benefits kind of their affinities, let's say, the parts of the system. And then they're also, because of just the way that things exist, those things are benefiting the other parts of the system in a way that it benefits the system as a whole. And so, as many of you may know, I'm like radically free market, and this is kind of the idea that I kind of have in my brain, where you have people acting in their own self-interest in a way that doesn't harm others, and then they end up helping each other, and then you end up building a system that transcends that just those interactions, and you end up creating something where it's like making things better and stuff. And that idea has always been really cool to me. And some of this goes back to the idea of the garden thing and the harmony thing, where I think if you put too much force into something, it just falls apart, because it's not. I don't think most things are made to be told what to do. I think most things are made with a drive and a direction and kind of a telos, if you will, a purpose, and they carry out their purpose, and by doing that, they better themselves and they better things around them. And I know I'm speaking really, really broadly. Because I think it's a very broad principle in my mind. I think it applies, like I said, from the atomic level to the universe level. And it's just things doing what they do. And I think when there's conflict between those things, and especially destructive conflict, well, then it becomes destructive and things stop helping each other. So I think it's if we think about our system as humans, but there's more than that, right? Like, there's more than our just connection to each other, because there's our connection to the earth and to everything else. And I think if we try to just put too much force into that, it doesn't work, because force is destructive. It tries to tear down existing things, kind of, and mold things into shape. And I just don't think things run that way. From what I've observed about biology and systems in general, is that they run by things just doing what they do. And it's like they find ways to work together. And this, I want to push for to everybody can. I try to push for responsibility, self-understanding, but like negotiation, and that's negotiation. So it's, I think I said I was going to do another video on negotiation, and I do want to do that, but things work by working together. And it's not that you can so let me try to apply this directly. I'm rambling, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to apply this directly to well, we can apply it to a garden, because the garden's an easy example, and I've used that before. If you just try to make things grow in certain soil, then they just won't. Plants will die if you don't give them the right nutrients and stuff. You have to give the right things. That's the trick. And it's the trick with yourself. Think of yourself as a garden, your personality even. You have to give yourself the right things. It's not just, man, with my nose, picking at my nose or whatever, picking my scabs and stuff. I've realized that I cannot just say, oh, I just shouldn't do that. I should just, no, should, and shouldn't is a very dangerous word to use, because I think it really just implies a false understanding of the world. It's like, yeah, you can say anything should be this way or that way, but it's not. So that's the reality you're facing. And so when you face reality, when you face things about your personality and what you're doing, then you can feed it the right things. You can give your garden the right nutrients for the plants to grow, and the right water, and all that stuff, without fighting it. I don't know, like I said, there's something to be said for opposition, because that's something we need, but I think, to me, the ultimate goal is to find harmony, to find a way that, I'm gonna get all woo-woo, like thinking about the yin and yang, and like having those things like turn together, how that symbol, it always looks like it's like turning. Having things just like work together in harmony, to me, that's the ideal situation we're looking for. We're not looking for one side to win over the other. We're looking how to incorporate things so that they work together. Hopefully we're not looking to completely destroy nature. I don't think anybody's looking for that. I mean, and this goes to an interesting discussion of like what Jung talked about with the shadow, Carl Jung, when he was saying, you have to, a lot of people suppress certain things about themselves, like their proclivity for violence, or that's what it is for most people. And like people just, they're like, oh, I wouldn't hurt anybody, and then but like you look in your head and you have these fantasies about like really hurting people, or killing people or whatever, and Carl Jung, his argument was basically you have to figure out how to incorporate those things. And that's not to say that you just like go kill people. No, you figure out how you have to feed things right, so you're not killing people, so you're not in conflict with others, and you're not in conflict with yourself. To me, that's the goal that we're looking for. We're looking to make systems flow. And systems are just so cool, and it's so cool how many levels there are to everything, and how, if you can get a part of a system to work really well, then it helps all the other parts, because everything's like a node in the network. And so, yeah, I think that's something for me to think about, something for everybody to think about. And if you can work on, just making the systems around you just run as smoothly as possible, and you can get so efficient. That's what's so cool. And like efficiency is what a system is made for, right? Like, systems are made to do things in the most efficient way possible. And that's like, when you look at biology uses resources so efficiently, and like as humans we waste a lot, but we're getting better. Like, we're getting more efficient, and that's so cool. And if you can, like, there's so many levels on which you can apply that, trying to figure out how you can make things more efficient. And there's little things that you can look at. It's like, what do I need to feed? How do I need to feed these things? How do I need to feed the people around me? Now, when I say feed, I'm not, necessarily saying with food. What do I need to give people, right? What do I need to do to make things around me run more smoothly? And we can do that. I think, I've seen, as I've studied economics, and this is actually the idea of economics. Economics is just the understanding of the system of, social psychology and incentives and stuff like that. And you understand that you need to feed people certain things. You need to feed yourself certain things. You got to think about the system of you, the system of your body. You can think about the system of your body, and also the system of your personality. And, those things could be more related than you think. You might have to literally feed yourself the right food to get the system to work the way you want it to. But, yeah, I mean, if I could, give one message to everybody, it's just, stop trying to use force. Stop trying to push things to go the direction they don't want to go. You're just making life harder for yourself. Feed the system the right things. And that's something I'm working on, and I'll probably be working on for the rest of my life. And I hope more people can try to work on that. Try to work on making things better. I think this has been my entire message throughout the month is trying to make things better, not make things worse. And that's something you can think about. So, thank you for watching. If you'd like to share this with your friends, you can. If you want to follow these videos, I got 4 more days. Wow. So if you want to follow these or look at the other ones, Kelton Out Loud on Facebook or on YouTube. And yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow in the next video. Thanks.